What is going on, everyone? I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Today is Wednesday, I believe. Let me go ahead and double check. I think it is. Almost confident. Yes, it is Wednesday. Damn, dude. The week went by super quick. I'm not sure if I live streamed yesterday. I don't think I did. I think last time I live streamed was actually Monday. So it's good to go ahead and be back, and the market actually doing very well, right? We do see right here our crypto bubbles on the daily. The meme tokens are doing fantastic at the moment, alongside with a lot of the altcoins, right? So we're gonna go ahead and see today into the charts. Hope the mic is perfect. What we could be expecting from Bitcoin in the next coming days, literally as we predicted, man. I almost feel like a freaking wizard, like calling all these tops and bottoms with Bitcoin and the market overall, right? So it's been a crazy week, I would say, even as far as, was it last week when AMC started to pump? I can't even remember now. I think it might have actually been Monday. So AMC GME short squeeze, and yeah, Bitcoin's short squeeze is now finally officially happening. So I'm excited to go ahead and talk about today's charts. We're gonna go ahead and see how it looks. So let me go ahead and share this real quick with the community, and as well, if you are watching this pre-recorded, do me a huge favor and smash that like button for me. And most importantly, go ahead and feel free to skip if you need to go over onto where we actually start talking about the charts. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Everyone, I gotta get this freaking Discord popping, guys. We gotta get more people in here. Okay, so we are officially live. Let's go ahead and do that. Awesome, we're back in action. So what are we missing? That's about it. So let me just go ahead and pull out the stream on my phone. Where the heck's my phone, dude? I have two phones, so I don't know where my second one's at. So, got my phone. Let me go ahead and turn on the stream right here. That way it makes it a lot easier for me to read the comments. Awesome possum. Looks like we are officially live. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome, everybody. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day. I know I've been a little bit on and off this week, but I figured since the market was a little bit shaky, wasn't doing much, I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and take a little break, give the market some time as the market continues to do its own thing. I mean, the market's going to do its own thing, guys. That's the thing that's like the most unfortunate thing. And sometimes for that reason, I don't like to go ahead and continue to stream during slow days or weeks. How's it going, Chicago? Hope you're having a good one, bro. How's your day going so far? Yeah, so typically during slow moments in a market, I just don't like to go ahead and stream, just due to the fact that I'm like repeating myself. Like I sometimes wish there was something more interesting in the market. There's just moments where there's like so many things to talk about that you just can't really, you could literally stream all day for like 5 hours plus, because there's so many things to talk about. And there's days in the market when there's like literally freaking nothing, bro. The market just doesn't do anything, sideways action, everybody's bearish, it's boring, nothing too crazy. We usually get like the most bearish news ever, and you know how it comes to my perspective, I could care less about the bearish news. I believe we are entering a bull run, and for that reason, I kind of don't care about any of the bearish news that we hear, right? So that's kind of the reason why I don't like to entertain any of the negativity when it comes to in the market, because in reality, overall, the market's bullish. And in my opinion, I don't really see any of that and that being necessary to talk about is what I'm trying to say. So let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin, and we're going to go ahead and pivot from Bitcoin, the overall structure of the market, as we usually do. Then we're going to go ahead and talk about the meme tokens. Is Memecoin season finally here, or is it entering? And as well, obviously Crody that you see right here on the top of my screen. I'm going to go ahead and give you my thoughts and my opinions about what I think about Crody. And yeah, believe it or not, I actually entered a position. So fingers crossed, Crody goes to where I believe it's going to go. I believe it's going to do over a 5 to an 8x in the next coming days. So you definitely do not want to go ahead and miss out if you are looking for some degenerate plays, or you are a holder of Crody, right? So let's go ahead and talk about Bitcoin. And let's go ahead and start off with the daily on Bitcoin, right? So with the daily on Bitcoin, we talked about, I can't even remember when we last talked about, but I remember we were around this range and everybody was super, super bearish as usual. I did mention there was a high probability we were going to go ahead and squeeze to the upside due to the fact that we had a lot of liquidations within that zone right here that we actually broke through. So millions of freaking shorts got liquidated, and this is typically the kind of behavior we see. We talked about the point of control, the POC, which is this red little line right here, and I mentioned that this is a very strong area of volatility, right? So that's exactly what we saw. So this should be no surprise to you if you have been following my stream these last couple days. I've been literally talking about the same exact freaking move. I almost feel like a freaking wizard. We see right here in the daily the bull flag pattern already breaking out, so that's a pretty good sign. We're gonna go ahead and delete that now, just so we can go ahead and keep a cleaner chart. Now, what I am expecting for Bitcoin, I was actually considering entering a leveraged long position, but we see right here, I do expect Bitcoin to have a little cool down period. And what I'm expecting Bitcoin to at least do, it's probably come back down to within the $63,000 range. I think that would be a pretty nice buying entry in my opinion. If you were to go ahead and leverage trade this, I think this could be a zone where we could come back down. And then once we break this POC, the point of control, we could go ahead and come to our next target being the $69,000, retesting back to the 66, and then having that massive breakout where we will see $74,000 and above, and then obviously my price target approaching $85,000 Bitcoin. So this is literally to no surprise to any of you if you were to go ahead and be following my stream these last couple weeks, days. I've been literally pushing this narrative since back over here when Bitcoin was at $58,000. And I mentioned to a lot of you, I was going to go ahead and wait for Bitcoin to do its thing in order for me to go ahead and enter a leverage position. So right now I am looking at Bitcoin very carefully, and I will be considering opening some longs very, very soon. I do expect Bitcoin to probably decide to do its move in the next coming days. Today is Wednesday, so we should probably be having the breakout. If we don't have it by Thursday, we should have it by Friday and leading on to the weekend. Mostly the weekend volatility, it's a hit or miss. If we do go ahead and see typical, Friday behavior, stock market and an green, which I believe we will, there's a high probability that by next week we should have some massive volatility alongside with a lot of these altcoins, meme tokens, and obviously Bitcoin, right? With a hype anticipation of Bitcoin reaching $85,000 in the next coming weeks. So if you actually go back over here, and I like to go ahead and show this chart a lot, right? Back over here during the ETF talk, we talked about how we were seeing also an inverse head and shoulders pattern. We saw Bitcoin consolidate here for a few days before we had that massive breakout to the upside. So this is something exactly to what kind of behavior I'm expecting Bitcoin to do. We saw Bitcoin right here within this range to literally consolidate for about 7 days before it had a massive breakout, right? So as I mentioned, we could be having a little bit more of a pump on Friday, and if we don't have the breakout by this end of the week, which I don't believe we will because we need to retrace a little bit, cool down a little bit, so we could go ahead and get more people to load up on their longs, and then a higher probability that by next week we should be having that breakout on Bitcoin approaching to those new all-time highs, right? So that's what we're expecting to see, at least for me personally. So I am going to be gearing up on loading up some leverage positions very, very soon. And I would consider a lot of you, not financial advice, to probably start loading up on your meme tokens, specifically those on Solana. And that's kind of the reason why You know how bearish I've been with Solana, guys. I don't like touching Solana meme tokens, as I mentioned, and I know a lot of you were talking a lot of you were talking about Crody to me, and I told a lot of you I wasn't going to go ahead and jump in. I was going to go ahead and jump in once I saw that 80 to 90% retracement, and that's actually what we saw, right? So we're going to go ahead and talk about that chart shortly, but it all comes down to Bitcoin, right? Depending on how Bitcoin acts, unfortunately, we're going to have a reaction in the market, right? It's like a chain reaction. So we have to go ahead and cheer on that Bitcoin does good in these next coming days, in these next coming weeks. But so far, so good, guys. Nothing to be worried about, nothing to be bearish about. In my opinion, this is looking extremely bullish. And these are usually some very good entry points to enter on leverage positions as you start getting this confirmation that Bitcoin is pushing into your narrative, or where you believe it's going to hit. I do think Bitcoin's probably going to come back down over here to the 63, if not down to the $64,000 before it retraces. So it's either going to be between 64 or down to right here at around 63. And I hope I could go ahead and catch a leverage long, right? Because if I could go ahead and catch a leverage long, this is going to be freaking amazing, riding this wave all the way up to $85,000 Bitcoin with 100x leverage, guys. Like when the market's going in your direction, it's so much easier to trade leverage and have it go in your favor instead of going against you, right? So if you are looking to go ahead and enter any leverage positions like myself in the next coming days, or even just hold on to spot positions with no KYC on a centralized exchange, check out my partner Blofin down below in the description. Non-KYC platform, $5,000 in sign-up bonuses. They are very similar to Bybit and literally takes less than 3 seconds to create an account, either an email or a phone number. No VPNs required, so that is super, super cool. And yeah, I really like their platform. Very easy to use. The only thing is that they don't have that many meme tokens as compared to Mexi. But you know how my whole entire thing with Mexi is. Mexi's a hit or miss for me. It's I love it and I also hate it. And yeah, so let's go ahead and let's start reading some comments. So the Crody took me for 10 Sol when they pumped and dumped it. They took it to 42 million and drained it. The Drake narrative is over. That cat drowned. They took you for 10 Sol, bro. What do you mean? Did you buy at the top when I told you not to buy? I hope that wasn't the case, man. See, the thing is, with these Solana meme tokens, they pump based on the price action of Solana. So if Solana is going up, the meme tokens are going to go up. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but Crody right now, it's giving us signs of some very, very bullish activity right now. So I hope you did not get wrecked, and I hope you didn't sell your position at a loss, because this is going to reverse very, very soon. And I entered a position back over here at under 3 million market cap, and I told a lot of you I was the biggest bear, guys. Like this is the thing with me now, that I'm a whole different level. I got in at 31 mil. Yeah, bro, you got freaking wrecked, man. I'm sorry to hear. Cali good. How's it going? Crody's still good. 100%, bro. Crody's is still good. Chicago, not financial advice, bro, but I would have. You put in a lot of money, man. 10 Sol. That's about. Is that about $2,000? It's not over, bro. Trust me on this, man. For me to get into a Solana meme token, I'm not the type of person to jump into Solana meme tokens. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I'm 100%, sure that this is gonna freaking moon, but I'm pretty confident it is, and this is the reason why I want all of you to listen very, very carefully, right? Because I've been in this rodeo plenty of friggin' times, and this is why I don't jump in when the FOMO and the hype is going on, right? I told all of you, be careful, don't jump in. You put in about $1,600, bro. That's freaking a lot. So you're down by quite a bit. Not financial advice, but if you have money, bro, to throw in, I would consider throwing in like 1 Sol right here. 1 Sol, or if you could go ahead and throw in another like 2 Sol right here at these areas. There's a probability 50-50, a higher chance probability. It might have an additional 40 to 50% dump right now. But I do think the bottom is in, and I don't think we will be going any lower, right? And this has a huge correlation with Solana, right? So for all of you that don't know, Solana meme tokens technically usually do very well when Solana is pumping. And what we're actually seeing right now in the market is that we're seeing Solana pump, right? Do you have a position in Crody, or you're thinking about it? I have a position in Crody, bro. I have 2 positions. I have like a 2 SOL position, and then I put in about like 5 or 10 SOL at 3 million. So I'm telling you, bro, like I really believe in it. And I was like the biggest bear when it came to Crody since the beginning. I was like the most bearish person probably these last 2 couple days. And look at where Crody's heading at now, right? So like you have to keep in mind, man, like I'm always going to be the most bearish, or I'm always going to be the most bullish, right? There's never going to be too much of an in between. Like whether when I'm jumping into something or I really truly believe in something, I'm going to tell you honest opinion whether I'm right or wrong, where I am looking towards to, right? Like even with Solana right here, I mean, look at this. It almost broke out exactly to what we predicted. Not, 101, but I would say probably like an 8-1. We kind of nailed it. Like I don't even remember doing this Solana TA, but here we go. And we talked about how Solana was going to be doing this double bottom right here, right now followed with this cup and handle pattern, which is very, very bullish, guys. And this is going to be pushing Solana to the price target of $181, right? So as Bitcoin's pumping, we're going to be having a lot of these altcoins also have that anticipation of the market, right? And that's typically what we start to see, and why we need Bitcoin to first dominate and lead us by the hand. Because you got to look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like that mama duck, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever seen ducks that follow their mom around like everywhere? Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing. Bitcoin's like the leading one, so we need Bitcoin to do its thing. Even though I'm not a holder of Bitcoin, maybe I should consider holding on to Bitcoin. But see, the problem is I don't think Bitcoin's gonna make me super rich if I buy it right now. See, the best bet right here is holding on to altcoins, meme tokens, and then specifically leverage trading your way into whatever kind of money you're looking to throw yourself into. But for me personally, Bitcoin is not one of those that's going to be life-changing money for me, especially now where it's at. Now, would I be comfortable throwing Bitcoin when I have a couple million? Of course, but even right now in the market, I think unless you're already loaded with hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars, then I would just go for the safer alternative, throw your money into Bitcoin. But anyways, with what I'm trying to say is that Bitcoin's always going to be the leading factor, right? So we need Bitcoin to do very well in order for altcoins and meme tokens to do very well. Do very well. Dude, my words are like freaking stuck. I'm like trying to think of so many things and trying to tell you so many things at the same time that like I'm like my head's over here and like my mind's over here and my words are over here, right? So anyways, yeah, Bitcoin, Solana, sorry. Solana double bottom, cup and handle, breakout, 180, 200, price target $500 Solana, right? So Bitcoin's going to do its thing, is going to run up, short squeeze, market's going to get very excited. Then we're going to have Bitcoin correction. We're going to have altcoins, meme tokens take a small little hit. And then we're going to have altcoins and then meme coins lead for a while as Bitcoin drops or literally goes into sideways action for a few months. And then we're going to go ahead and have that rinse and repeat pattern where we have Bitcoin dominating again, altcoins, meme tokens, the last one. And by then, that should be the end of the bull run. Probably we have NFTs again. Who knows? We're going to see where things go. But what I'm trying to say with Crody right now, this goes with Crody and all the Solana meme tokens. As Solana goes up, all these Solana meme tokens go up as well. As long as they have a very strong narrative, a strong community, and a strong meme, and it's memeable and people know about it, these tokens are also going to do very well. And the reason being is due to the fact that, remember, keep in mind, any of these Solana meme tokens, what is their underlying asset? What blockchain are they on? They are on Solana. So as Solana goes up in value, these tokens are going to be worth more in value as well. So trust me. I don't want to say trust me, man, but trust me, bro. Trust me on this one. I've traded back in November, when I had the feeling that Bitcoin was going to do its run up, and I knew Bitcoin was going to do its run up from like $42,000 to where it was at. I called it early on with Bitcoin too as well. And that what I started to do, and I told a lot of people in my community on my old channel, I told a lot of you at that time, if you guys are still following me from my old channel, to start loading up on altcoins and meme tokens, right? And that's exactly what I did. I started loading up on some leverage positions on meme tokens, specifically at the time was Pepe 2.0. And I started at this point, I got wrecked. I got literally scammed from a bunch of these pre-sale tokens on pink sale. I got wrecked with Sapherium. I'm not sure if any of you remember Sapherium, but at that point, after building my small little bag, I got wrecked again, right? So I had my last $100 to my name at this point, and I saw this movement in the market happening, right? I threw in $100, leverage trade Pepe 2.0, and I leverage traded that all the way up from $100 all the way up to $20,000 in less than 2 weeks, right? The reason why I was able to take advantage of the market that way was because, one, I knew what the market was doing. Two, I understood that getting early on, you minimize your risk. So if you're considering, or you were considering deploying capital these last couple of days, and I'm telling you as a friend, okay? I'm not telling you as a freaking financial advisor. I'm not telling you as a guru. I'm not telling you as anything. I'm telling you as a friend of friend, right? This is the time you want to be deploying your capital. If you know how to leverage trade, start entering some small leverage trade positions. If you are not, start loading up on your conviction plays and start loading up on those plays that you really believe will begin to start taking off in the meme coin sector, okay? Altcoins, we're going to start getting into these higher risk assets. In my opinion, we will be having that run up with these tokens very, very soon. If it's not by next week, believe me, we'll have it by the next 3 to 4 weeks. And as Solana continues to break out, keep in mind, we're not that far away from Solana making a new all-time high, guys. Look at this. Look at the charts right here. Look how far we are from Solana. This looks so freaking healthy. We're a freaking 29% pump away from Solana making a new all-time high. Keep that in mind, 29% pump. That is nothing for Solana to hit $200 again, right? If we go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin, we're going to go ahead and see how far Bitcoin is from breaking past $74,000. Check this out. We're about a 12% pump. Literally the same exact pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern on Bitcoin, inverse head and shoulders pattern on Solana. Like, what other information can I provide to you for you to see how bullish this is, right? This is no hype. This is just facts right here that we're looking at, data in front of our face. Like, if you're ignoring this, I don't know what else to tell you. This is just two charts that I've showed you, and I can show you the DXY, I can show you the US 100, and I could even show you CRODI, and I could even show you every reason why you should be bullish. But even with that just being said, all I really need to show you is Bitcoin, and that's it. Because a lot of these altcoins are going to follow what Bitcoin's doing. There's no coincidence. Solana's chart looks very similar to Bitcoin. Don't you think if Bitcoin starts breaking out towards that $74,000, $75,000, makes new all-time high, don't you think Solana is also going to do the same thing? And don't you think Solana is going to go ahead and be approaching a price target of over $300 in the next coming weeks? Of course. What do you think is going to happen as soon as Solana breaks new all-time highs? All those Solana meme tokens that are under that blockchain are also going to run up. This is why I've decided to load up on CRODI, because I was the biggest bear, guys. I told all of you to not jump into CRODI right here. I kid you not. You can go back to my streams. I told all of you I'm not jumping into it. I'm bearish. I'm going to wait for it to dump 80 to 90%, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump in. Can I be wrong? 100%. I could be wrong, right? And this is what we also have to go ahead and keep in mind. So if I am wrong and Bitcoin and Solana doesn't do what I'm telling you, which I really, really highly doubt it, it's giving us signs that it is. But if it does, we're going to go ahead and have to see Solana break back down to 120. And after we go ahead and fall below here, this is going to be extremely bearish, and we will be seeing Solana come back down to 98, 67, and potentially down to $20, which will probably never happen again. But that would be the case that we are super, super bearish, and that shouldn't really matter on where the meme tokens are going, because that means that all the meme tokens you jumped into are going to be pretty much demolished. They're probably not going to be non-existent at this point, if that was a fact that was to happen, right? That was supposed to be the case. The bullish thing about this is that there's no signs in the market telling us this, right? So I've just showed you the Solana chart. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the DXY, okay? So the DXY, oh my gosh, bro, I feel like a freaking wizard timing the freaking market, and I haven't looked at this market chart in a few days. I literally talked about the DXY having a possibility of losing the support, coming back down, touching this 104 area, and this would be extremely bullish for Bitcoin and the overall crypto market. And guess what, guys? That is exactly what we're seeing. So what are we seeing now for the DXY? Well, we're seeing a massive head and shoulders pattern, right? So typically what we have with this behavior, we find some sort of support, we retest, you know, higher, a little bit higher, like let's say the 104. It's going to get rejected more than likely. It's going to dump, and it's probably going to consolidate here for a while before it breaks out once again and starts retesting these levels. So the DXY is giving us signs that, guys, this is a sign we were waiting for these last couple days to be bullish. So I just showed you the Bitcoin chart. I just showed you the Solana chart. I just showed you the DXY, the dollar strength, as to why we should be bullish on freaking crypto right now. 3 freaking indicators. Now you want the 4th indicator to really understand why you should consider being bullish in this market. Well, take a look at the US 100 on the daily. Literally, as we predicted these last couple of days, almost, I would say like a 7 and 9, right? 7 and 9. Literally same thing, breaking out literally at the area of resistance of 18,608, getting ready to make new all-time highs. So we might end the week on the stock market making new all-time freaking highs. Is this a coincidence, or should this be a surprise to any of you? I would hope not, because we talked about this in the market for the last couple weeks. Look at this inverse head and shoulders pattern, breakout pattern, perfectly, guys. We could also see this double bottom pattern right here, breakout, perfect. So like literally we have every freaking indicator in our favor, and I won't understand why anybody's freaking bearish, bro. Like I'm getting tired of like people being extremely bearish to the market, man. It's like, trust me, man, I'm gonna be the biggest bear when it's time to be, and I'm gonna be freaking screaming freaking. You're gonna probably like dislike me a lot by then, you know, when the bear market enters, because I'm gonna be the person shoving it in your face saying I told you so. But right now, this is the time in the market to load up onto risk on assets. Looking at the monthly on the US 100, we're also seeing a massive cup and handle pattern, guys. We are having this freaking breakout. How more bullish can you freaking be, man? Like anybody calling for a $10,000 Bitcoin, stock market crashing, dude, I really hope you're like shorting the freaking market, and you really put your mouth where you really put your money where your mouth is, right? Because I have a lot of people always telling me, oh dude, the market top is in, the market is different this time, all this BS, bro. And I'm like, bro, how much of an idiot can you freaking be when the signs of the market are freaking telling you that it's bullish? I'm not making any of this shit up. This is not John telling you that this is what's going to happen. The freaking market's telling us this, right? I'm getting a little bit heat up because like I swear, like sometimes I can't feel bad for retail sometimes, guys. I'm like I don't feel bad for people that do not understand the freaking market. I do not feel bad, right? And for all those here watching, I really appreciate you, because you guys are going to be ahead of the freaking curve. You guys are going to be way, 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 way ahead of the curve compared to what most retail traders are in. Not the people that are following what this influencer is saying. I'm not telling you to buy shit. I'm just showing you what the charts are telling us. Then you make your decision and decide on what you want to do. I'm telling you the plays that I'm getting into doesn't mean I might be wrong. I'm not telling you I can't be wrong. I could be 100% wrong. And I'm okay being wrong. But what I'm telling you is that every freaking sign in the market is giving us a freaking bullish sign. I literally had a friend when I was at the gym tell me that Bitcoin's going to 10 grand, bro. I laughed. I'm like, bro, are you dumb, bro? Like what rock are you freaking living under? He's like, dude, war, World War III. I was like, dude, we've been in freaking World War III for freaking the past 3 years. What do you mean World War III? What freaking rock have you been living under, man? You know what I mean? It's like people are considering all this economical data like, oh, like, yeah, this is, dude, it's like, dude, World War III has been since the freaking scandemic that we went into. That's been World War III. People are just so freaking dumb, dude. Like, look at what's in front of us. This is the time to be freaking the most bullish. And I've been the biggest bear for Bitcoin for the freaking longest. Trust me. I've been the biggest bear in the market since November, when the market started to take off, because it took off way too quick. Now I'm being extremely bullish. I was the biggest bear during the Bitcoin ETF, and guess what? Everybody's like, John, you're gonna be wrong. Bitcoin to 100,000. We're all gonna be billionaires. And I'm like, all right, bro. Well, I hope that plays off. And guess what happened? ETF news dumped. Everybody disappeared. Why? Because people go based on your emotions. Stop going based on your emotions. Don't listen to these influencers. Make your own decisions. Look at the freaking charts. The data's in front of us. It's very, very easy to look at this market. It's hard to time it. I'm not going to tell you it's easy to time it. Nobody can time the market. And the reason why I look at this very, very carefully is because I want you and I to be ahead of the curve. So by the time the market top is coming in, we're cashing out, guys. We're making our freaking money. We're dumping on retail, and we're taking our money, and we're not looking back. We're gonna, hopefully, many of us be retiring, enjoying all of our freaking goods from all the money that we made, be taking care of our family, taking our family to vacation, whatever your freaking goal is, right? We all have different goals. But by the time the bear market's entering, guys, I'm just gonna be shorting, and then I'm gonna be taking my time off in the market, and then we'll come back again when it's bullish once again, right? But right now, the market is giving us some bullish sentiment. It's clear in front of our freaking faces, bro. Now, the only thing that would cause us to freaking dump will be some very crazy, like, black swan event like we had with the scandemic, where like everything just crashes, which is a high probability too, right? Anything could freaking happen. But let me be honest with you, that's not gonna happen. It's not going to happen, not during a presidential election in the U.S. People take that very, very freaking, like, dude, it's so big here in the U.S. Like, the presidential election, people go crazy about who's going to be president. Just keep in mind, man, they're all for the same freaking stuff. I'm trying to keep it PG. I'm trying to watch out for my language. But with that being said, Bitcoin, Solana, DXY, US 100, bullish. Everything's freaking bullish. That is literally all the signs in the market you really need to make your decision on where you want to throw your money into. Now, let's go ahead and start reading some comments, because I have some comments right here that I'm not trying to ignore. But let's go ahead and read them. So, it's all about Roaring Kitty right now. I'm still DCAing. Most Solana projects are just a pump and dump. A lot of liquidity will flow base for the meme FOMO. I agree with you, man. Jing. I agree with you. That's why I don't like Solana tokens, guys. Solana tokens are just pump and dumps. Your best bet is just swing trading those, guys. I've been telling you this, and I also had my girl on AMC position, and I had her make a couple grand on that play, and I just had her DCA her way out. And why? Because I know freaking Solana plays are freaking pump and dumps. You don't hold those to the freaking moon, bro. There's very, very few you do that on. But most of freaking Solana plays are just pure pump and dump manipulated tokens, such as Crody. Crody's a freaking manipulated token, guys. Because guess who's freaking pumping that? Crash is pumping Crody. And all these freaking 20 other influencers are freaking pushing Crody. Crody is a super scam. It just got a little hype because of the Drake diss track, bro. Just like GME and AMC, few day pump and all the whales dump on the normies. That's how you trade, man. That's how you trade. That's how you take advantage of the market. You know, you just freaking go ahead and trade the market, come in, and you're freaking out, bro. Look, that's literally what I did with one of the wallets that my girl was in. This was just from AMC's pump alone. Over $4,000 right there, just from AMC. Because what you do is you just dump your bag, bro. You don't diamond hand this, go to the moon. I did not go to the freaking Telegram on AMC once, and I was part of AMC since the beginning. You just dump your bag, bro. You just take profits. You don't hold these. You don't keep these as like. See, this is the thing why I don't like about Solana. And I'm always going to be a Solana hater. I'm sorry to tell you this, guys, but I'm always going to be a Solana hater. Solana's full of freaking pump and dumps. And that's why I don't like Solana, because a lot of people get influenced into throwing a lot of money into these Solana meme tokens. And I would never tell anybody to go ahead and do that. I learned my lesson, dude. I've gotten wrecked on Solana way too freaking much. And the project could be super, super bullish, and it will still dump. These are just massive pump and dumps. So that's kind of the reason why. Also with AMC, I think it's going to come back up. This might be the bottom. I don't know. But if the bottom is near, I'm going to re-enter a position, and I'm going to rinse and repeat, guys. That's what you guys should be doing. You guys should just go ahead and rinse and repeat. The goal is not to freaking make $100,000, $200,000 overnight, guys. The goal is to go ahead and compound your freaking bag into then loading up into bigger plays. So when that bigger bag that you have, all it has to do is a 5x and you're already hitting $10,000. You know what I mean? Or all it has to do is a 3x and you're making $6,000 per play, right? And $6,000 might not be life changing for many of you, but if you could go ahead and duplicate $6,000 per day, or $6,000 every other, let's say, day, or let's say you make 2 trades with a 3x with $2,000, that's $6,000. 6 times 2 is 12, and you're making over $12,000 a week swing trading these projects. And that's what you should be doing with the Solana plays, right? I do think AMC might come back in the next coming days. I'm looking at this very, very carefully. But if AMC is giving us signs that this is going to reverse, you start throwing up another little bag. But it's probably not going to do much, guys. It's probably going to do 160x more than likely if it does reverse. We're probably going to go ahead and see AMC do this. It's probably going to dump. It might do a cup and handle pattern. If it holds support, then we're going to go ahead and have that next massive takeoff where we're going to be approaching over 60 to 80 million plus market cap, right? So we're going to talk about Crody with that too. But yes, Crody is a super scam, I guess, if you want to call it. All of these are freaking scams, man. And that's the thing. That's why I've been trying to warn all of you, and I've been telling everybody to go into base tokens, because as the freaking hype on these tokens die, dude, I can't believe I drew this. Look at this. This is freaking funny. Let's read these comments real quick. Cats and dogs are not going to be the meta of this super cycle, in my opinion. I mean, sure, some will do good, but Pepe versus Boy Clubs and 4chan memes will do the best. I agree with you. Boomer on base, Normie on base. This shit will be the new meta. Dogs and cats are overflooded. Yeah, but you also got to keep in mind, like, when the normies start coming in, when retail starts coming in, they're going to go into the dogs and cats, man. People just love pets. Like, you can't deny that. Like, I don't even think the cat narrative is as strong as a dog narrative, you know? So I agree with you, but I disagree with you. Like, I think we're underestimating the cycle. I think this cycle is not just going to be solely just Pepe. It's not going to be solely just the boys club. I think it's going to be all the meme tokens that have a good meme, like such as AMC, GME. I think those are going to be still very decent narratives. You got to keep in mind, as retail start coming in, retail doesn't give an F about a Pepeverse. They don't care about any of that, man. They're going to go to whatever's cute, to whatever they find funny, to whatever they like, to whatever community they feel drawn to. You know, that's just how people are. So you just have to go ahead and go and run on people's emotions. Like, how do people feel about this token, right? What do people feel about Crody? They're gonna be like, oh, look at that cute little freaking cat, bro. It's Drake's cat. That's literally how bullish, and that's the only bullishness you need to know, that it's bullish, right? You just got to think like a normie sometimes. Like, how will retail, like, if you were not a normie, because I know all of you right here are not normies. If you guys were normies, you guys wouldn't be here. But you guys are not normies, right? So if you were a normie, think like a normie. Like, if you never knew about crypto and you're coming in, what would you jump into? Would you jump into a freaking Crody, or would you jump into a freaking Cardano? I'd jump into a Crody, bro, because it sounds pretty cool. You know what I mean? And then you find out that it's freaking Drake's cat. Super cool. You know what I mean? That's how retail thinks, man. It's freaking hilarious. You can't make this shit up. That's the funny thing about it, man. You hype me up, bro. I'm gonna buy more brand. Bro, the point is not to hype you up. The point is just to show you why you should be bullish in the market, right? This is just me showing you pure facts. And yes, I'm loading up on positions too, and I'm just waiting for that paycheck to hit my account, bro, so I can start loading up on a lot of these tokens. I'm gonna tell you my quick little goal with Crody, okay? So listen very carefully if you're a holder of Crody or looking for a degenerate play. I'm going to go ahead and tell you my little play on Crody and what I'm planning to do in the next coming days, all right? Let me continue to read these questions or comments. Steve, how are you doing, my guy? What's your 4 top Solana right now? So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my top 4 Solana. I might not have that many, I'm going to be honest with you, because I don't like Solana, but I'm going to keep it very simple. So I'm going to do Myro for sure is going to be my first Solana play. I would say you could go ahead and choose Dog with Hat. Like, these are just safer alternative, guys. These are not like life-changing gains. Dog with Hat's not gonna change your life unless you're throwing in like 100,000. And then again, it just depends what life-changing money is for you. I forgot, guys. Like, I'm trying to hit it big this bull run, so a lot of these numbers don't excite me too much. But you're not gonna do a lot with Dog with Hat, bro. Like, the most Dog with Hat's probably gonna do is like a 10. Maybe $20. So like Dog with Hat, like if I was getting my grandparents into freaking meme tokens and they had $100,000 to play with, this is what I would do on my 4 top Solana plays, right? I would go ahead and put them on Myro because I think Myro's for sure gonna hit $1. I would put them on Dog with Hat. I would then go ahead and put them on Jupiter because it's a safer play because it's like an exchange, right? Now my 4th degenerate play, I would have to choose which one else am I missing. So I got Myro right here. I got one more to go. We could definitely go ahead and say there's another one on Solana. Which one is it? Did I already say Jupiter? I think I already said Jupiter. I would say Radium, bro. I'd keep it very, very like low risk. Like I wouldn't with Solana, guys. Like, I would not recommend a lot of these tokens. These are just pump and dump tokens. You just make your nut, you're out, and that's it. You might miss out on some opportunities. You might miss out on that 100 million X, but that's part of the game, right? So that would be my top 4. It would be Radium, Jupiter, Myro, and then what other token did I just say? Myro, and I have one more left. I literally just freaking said it. Dog with Hat. Jupiter, Radium, Dog with Hat, and Myro. Those would be my 4 Solana plays. And those aren't even degenerate plays. Those are like guaranteed 5 to like 20x's, bro. Maybe low end 10x. So those 4 plays that I just told you right now, those would probably only do about a 5 to a 10x at the max. That just tells you like how conservative those 4 Solana plays are for me and why you should as well. You know what I mean? I've been also looking at freaking Ponky. Ponky's one that's very interesting. I know Crash has been talking about this a lot too. This is a very interesting one. But just keep in mind also that anything that Crash is usually going to be involved in is going to be super, super volatile. So anything that you have with a lot of these influencers, and this is the same thing with Crody right now, which I want to tell all of you. With Crody, it has a lot of the freaking pump and dump influencers, such as Your Pop, Pump and Dump, Henoch, Pump and Dump, a few other. Dude, I literally have anything Your Pop and Henoch promotes, I don't freaking touch, bro. That's what I've noticed. Keep a track record of them, man. Keep a track record of these freaking influencers. You're gonna see how many 9 out of 10 these freaking projects either rug pull or they're freaking dead in a matter of freaking hours or days. You know, that's why, like right now with what you're saying with Crody, I think Crody's gonna do good, bro. Like I've been the biggest freaking hater with Crody. I was talking shit on Crody since over here, guys. Right here. I was talking shit on Crody. And now I'm bullish on Crody? Why do you think that? Because it has dumped 90 freaking percent. You got to do the opposite of what people are going to do. If people are excited to buy into a token, guess what you do? You should be selling by then. You do not buy. If you're excited to buy, you don't buy. You wait for it to dump 90%, as I told every one of you last freaking week, as all of you were getting excited for Crody. I hope all of you made money on that. And if you got wrecked, let that be a freaking lesson for you to learn, because I told you guys, do not freaking buy. Did I time it wrong? 100%. Look how much it pumped after I told you guys not to buy. I think I told a lot of you not to buy it probably over here. It literally did an additional about 3x. So I didn't call the top, bro. And I might not call the bottom either. But I think this is the bottom. So I got in at 3 mil, dude. I got in at freaking Crody at this bottom right here. Was I in the Telegram looking at what the Telegram was saying? Was I looking at Twitter at what Twitter people were saying? Was I looking at what Your Pop tweeted today to go ahead and jump in? No, bro. I just looked at the freaking charts and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and see what Crody is doing, since everybody was so freaking hyped about it a few days ago. And I looked at the chart and I was like, damn, dude, 92%. Just like I freaking told everybody it was going to happen. And I'm like, all right, let me just wait for my entry. Waited about a day or a couple hours, I can't remember. Hit my entry and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna load up. Signs that Crody's gonna pump. I got in right here at this bottom, so not much to lose. 2, we see volume increase picking up. 3, we could go ahead and see that I just showed you the Solana chart right now. As I told you, as Solana starts to pump, a lot of these Solana meme tokens will also pump as well. It's just facts, guys. I was doing this when I was trading freaking Bonk. Back in November, I was literally looking at Solana and then having a chart right next to Bonk. It literally mimicked the same freaking thing. Why? Because this token is riding on Solana. It's very predictable, guys. It's very predictable, very simple if you ignore all the loud noises. Ignore influencers. I don't know, dude. I have not found any influencers that have given me the freaking secret sauce to hit every 100x. And if you have found one, shoot them my freaking way and give me the alpha, because I don't follow influencers. I don't follow callers. I don't do any of that crap. I look at my own TA and I stick to my narrative, and that's it. And I might hit it, I might not, but 9 times out of 10 when I hit it pretty freaking big, and it's because I stick to my freaking belief. I'm not influenced by anybody else, and neither should you. What I'm showing you right here is not me trying to convince you. I'm just showing you. Now, if you're not understanding and comprehending any of this because you don't want to, not because I'm actually showing you, but just because you don't want to, then I don't know what to tell you. There's no way of saving you, man. There really isn't, because I'm giving you everything I can in my favor to show you what you could go ahead and take a look at the market and make your own decision, and why is a high probability that you're bullish in it, and why this might work. But it's up to you to decide what you want to do. Most people won't give you that. Most people just tell you it's going to the moon, buy, but they're not going to tell you why it's going to the moon. Have you ever considered asking yourself why that person, why that influencer is pumping that token? Because they're freaking getting paid, bro. Do you think they care if they freaking call it right here, right here, right here, right here? They don't care because they're either part of the team, they're getting back in tokens, or they're using you and me as exit liquidity. That's what they're freaking doing, bro. That's exactly what they're freaking doing. Once you start waking up to what these freaking influencers do, exit liquidity. That's what they use it as, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at Crody before I get off topic again. And let's go ahead and see what the worst case scenario for Crody could be, right? So, because we always got to keep that in mind. We got to keep both cases. I don't like to be extremely bullish and I don't like to be extremely bearish. I like to be neutral and I like to give you both case scenarios, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at this. So for Crody, for me personally, I think is going to pump. I mean, the fact that Solana is pumping right now, it's also even super bullish for me. And that makes me feel even more comfortable with my play. But what I do want to tell you is that Crody does have a probability that it's going to dump about 40 to 50%. And I'm going to go ahead and show you why, right? So if you are a holder or you're considering entering a Crody position, listen very, very carefully and don't exit on this video just yet. So check this out right here on Crody. So this is the one thing I do want all of you to be very, very aware of, right? So with Crody right here, I see multiple bullish patterns, right? On the 1 hour chart, we see this inverse head and shoulders pattern, bullish. We saw that breakout, confirm. This is where you would typically consider entering a position right here, or you might just wait for that breakout and then that dump. Another bullish entry point in my opinion, right? So we see cup and hand, we see inverse head and shoulders done. We see a cup and handle in my opinion. That's about to form. That's another bullish pattern. We are typically followed with an inverse head and shoulders pattern with a cup and handle, or an inverse head and shoulders pattern with a W pattern, and then a cup and handle. It just depends, right? So what I'm pretty much saying is that worst case scenario is Crody from these levels of 7 million market cap don't hold, and it dumps an additional, I would say 49%, taking us back to 3 million, guys. So this is the worst case scenario. I'm freaking wrong and it jumps all the way down to 3 million, and then right here people are going to panic, and then we're going to see the massive reversal where just freaking moons, right? That's bearish case scenario. Bullish case scenario is that the bottom was in right here at 3 million. This is the new floor, and we might just go ahead and see the massive breakout coming in the next coming days. Taking Crody, typically this is what we see with these tokens, right? We usually never see all-time highs being broken again, because keep this in mind. This is very important. A lot of people bought Crody right here, right here, right here, right here, and right here. So a lot of people bought the freaking top, thinking that was the bottom of the dip. So keep this in mind. A lot of people bought within this zone. So as Crody starts to pump and starts approaching 30 million market cap, what do you think is going to happen? You don't have to be a rocket scientist for this. Billy, Joe, Albert, Francis, and Rico are all either going to break even or finally break at a loss, that it's not as bad as coming over here, because their bag is probably not worth anything. If they put in like 10 grand right here, it's probably not worth shit if they sell right here in the bottom, right? So they're going to go ahead and wait for Crody to come back up to these zones at a 30-40 million market cap, and guess what's going to happen? You might have another set of idiots thinking that Crody might go up to 100 million market cap. I'm not saying it's not. It could. I could miss out on this pump. I'm just going to go ahead and pump, and I'm just going to dump it, guys. I'm telling you what my strategy is. We might have another set of idiots coming in the market thinking that they're going to freaking go to the moon because they're being greedy, and they decided not to jump in when I told everybody to consider jumping into a position right here. They're going to jump into a position right here. Once they start seeing yours and my profits, they're going to get FOMO'd, okay? So you're going to want to go ahead and jump in right here. So by the time they're jumping in right here, the market might slightly push it up a little bit. Maybe it does hit 80 million, but guess what? Same cycle happens. Dump. Then we're going to go ahead and see another 80 to 90% retracement. From this top, 80 million market cap. Look at that. It's going to take us all the way from 70,000 70 million, 77% down if we hit that 80 million market cap. So this is what I think might happen next. So my strategy, which is not really a strategy because I just told all of you, but what I'm planning of doing is exiting Crody at around right here. I'm not taking any chances. I'm okay taking a 3, a 5x. I'm okay with that. I don't mind it. I'm not here to make a moon bag overnight. That would be roughly from this bottom right here. That would be over a 13x actually. So that's not that bad of a trade. I'm okay taking a 13x and I'm out. It might pump. It might pump a little bit, maybe a little bit higher. Maybe it hits 80 million and I didn't time the top of the market, and then it dumps again. And then people are going to be like, oh, this is a scam. Dollar cost average. And then the same thing is going to happen. The market's going to go ahead and then push. And this is not just Crody. This is just in general, all the meme tokens, that this is what they do. They're going to go ahead and pump new all-time highs, crash 80%, 70%. People panic. It's going to pump again. People are going to go ahead and sell. Then they're going to rebuy again at a higher market cap. And it's the same thing over and over again, guys. It's the same pump and dump, rinse and repeat. These tokens, these pumps, don't last no more than a few days. So I'm planning on selling Crody at around 30 million market cap. It's really that simple. I don't need to go ahead and hit an 100x overnight. That's a problem with a lot of people. They want to hit a 100x overnight. This is why you get wrecked, because you're trying to hit a home run overnight. You want to just compound your money and then have more money to risk on your other plays. So when you're risking $2,000 for a 5x, you're hitting $10,000 in a trade. You're not waiting for that big home run. Let's say you have $5,000 to throw into a trade. All you need is a 3x and you're making 15 grand, right? So you have to keep in mind, your whole goal is to build a bigger bag to risk more money without it impacting your bag too much, right? So with Crody, as I said, a worst case scenario is that Crody's done and we all lose money and that's it. That's really what the worst case scenario is. I don't see that happening. As I mentioned, a worst case scenario is what we see is two cases. Is either it dumps in another 40% right here, then it bounces all the way back up. It pushes to 30 to 40 million market cap. Everybody's going to start buying again. And then I'm going to be selling on you if you decide to buy in at 40 million market cap, and then you're going to get wrecked again because it's going to dump. That's how these tokens work, guys. That's how these tokens work. You just got to sometimes look at the charts. The charts tells us all the data. It's giving us bullish signs. It's giving us signs of buying pressure. I would say right now it's a little bit more in the neutral, not extremely bullish. But in my opinion, I do think we will be seeing Crody take off. And if I'm wrong, well, I'm wrong, dude. I don't know what I don't know what else to say. Like, there's not really much to say. This is all speculation. I'm not saying this is 100% going to happen. Now, if I do see a dump down below 3 million, I might consider breaking even on my position or just holding on to it and saying, you know what, YOLO, let's see where this thing goes. Sometimes we do have these cases right here on Solana, which I've seen a lot, where a lot of people think this is going to pump and it just does this. But as I mentioned, I really doubt it, and that's just because Solana is going to pump. If Solana pumps to $200, bro, all the degens are going to be freaking excited, and they're going to go ahead and start risking their money into other assets. Crash was, he ditched it after a few days, moved on to the next. Yeah, man, Crash is just pump and dump. Brett will be unstoppable. Doesn't matter how scammy it is and how much FUD is going to get, just like Pepe. I agree. Steve, I grabbed a bag of Ponky on Sol a couple of days ago, and it's pumping nicely since. Yes, nice. Bro, why Crody, TG Vanish, and Crody X suspended? So the Crody, from my understanding, it got suspended from, I think I joined their Telegram a few days ago. They said that their Twitter got what is it called, bro? Frick. When people accuse your account of something, like when they go ahead and accuse your account, like on Twitter, what is it called, bro? Frick. Not block. It's another word. It's like when you're on Twitter and you want to go ahead and like snitch on someone on Twitter because they posted something. Anyways, that's what happened with Crody. They apparently, from what I was seeing with Telegram, is that some people were like complaining, or like Twitter thought it was like a fake or something. I don't know. And it got suspended. So in the next couple of days, Crody should be coming back up on their Twitter from what they said. I think I was in their Telegram yesterday just to go ahead and check up, and I was just trying to see how the group was doing, and everybody was dead, bro. Like nobody was hyped. Community seems kind of sad because they all got pumped by freaking Crash. And I hope a lot of people start waking up to this. Bird is having a nice pump last 1-2 days. Let's go ahead and see that. Was at 300 million, now almost at 400 million. Damn, it's base, blue chip. Everybody will have a bag of it. But question is, when is a good entry? Maybe it's another pump to produce FOMO, or just going to go back to all-time high. What do you think? I haven't looked at the charts, bro, but I think we might be having finally our little breakout success in the coming freaking days for base, bro. I feel like base has been lacking a lot, man. And I've noticed that. It's like base, bro, like honestly, to get a 3 to 5x, you have to freaking wait ages. Like I've noticed that. Like base is nothing compared to Solana. Solana, you can get a 10x literally in one day. And now I realize why people like Solana so much. Because those gains are so much better. You get them overnight. You get a 10x overnight. You get a 30x overnight. With base and Ethereum tokens, bro, those take freaking months just for you to get a 20x. Just for you to get a 10x. So I've noticed with ETH and base, it's more about being patient with your bag. But how do you know when or what to flip to 20,000 new coins every freaking day? You don't know, bro. You just have to look at the charts and just get the feeling of it. Like if you find an opportunity, you find it. Sometimes the opportunities come to you, trust me. Ski is super cheap, yes. Classic. John, what's your strategy on Andy? That's a great question, bro. I'm gonna tell you mine right now. I hope you don't use that strategy against me. Somebody just bought 43 ETH on Brett. That's insane. 131,000, dude. Yeah, dude. Ski is super cheap at the moment, and KeyCat also super cheap. Yeah, dude. A lot of these base tokens are actually super freaking cheap right now, and I'm glad you've been mentioning that, Jin, because I really do believe. I also believe in base a lot, and I do think that base is gonna pay off. Like these Solana trades, guys, these are cool, but trust me, most people are gonna get wrecked, and you're seeing it right now. And I hope you're not one of those people that got wrecked really bad on the Solana, on like AMC, on GME, on freaking Crody, Brody, Hordy, whatever the freaking new meme tokens they come out with every freaking second. I was just taking out a gum, by the way. These are just pump and dumps, guys. Just make your money, and that's how. Freaking put your money into base. Yes, I'm telling you, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm telling you as a friend. You're my friend, right? Friend or friend. If you're my friend and you're freaking investing in a lot of meme tokens, I'll slap you right across the face and I'll tell you, buy some freaking base tokens, bro. What are you doing? Be patient. Be patient for the freaking 20x. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight, but be patient. Base, you have a lower chance of losing money, man. Andy, let's not even get started with Andy. This thing has dumped a lot. Do you think I'm panicking? 100%. Yes and no. So right now we're at some very critical areas with Andy alone. You know what I mean? We're like at this point where we're at the point of control, the same point of control, similar to what we've seen with Bitcoin, right? So if we do break out this point of control of Andy, guess what's going to happen, guys? We're going to go ahead and see a massive breakout to the upside. Now, if we do continue to have this rejection as we're seeing with Andy, we are going to fall back down to the zone. So what my strategy is with Andy in the next coming days, I am looking to go ahead and load up on my bag For Andy, I am a long-term holder. This thing has over 24,000 holders. I am looking to go ahead and add a couple $100 to this. It does look like it is forming an inverse head and shoulders pattern. So there's quite a few little bullish patterns forming right now, but I wouldn't tell you 100% that I am feeling confident. But I do think this is going to have a breakout very soon. So my strategy with Andy is to go ahead and add a few more dollars into this. And I want my position to be to the point where I know this next 10, 20x. Like once I see Andy do this right here, where it hits a 20x, and I could build my back pretty good, I think that'd be, what would it be? That'd be a nice position for myself. If I was to go ahead and make and add more to my position right here with Andy, it's not going to be a life-changing position, but it'd be a couple grand. And what I would then go ahead and do, as you ask for what my strategy for Andy is just dollar cost average, man. Dollar cost average your position into Andy. What I would consider even doing, if this thing was to pump, right? Like let's say if Andy was to pump, right? Would I go ahead and sell my bag 100%? No, of course not. The whole point is to go ahead and hold on to as many tokens as you can as this market continues to pump, right? So what my goal would be for Andy is that if I was to go ahead and hit a 20 to a 30x on this, which the next price target is about a 13x, my bag alone is going to be looking very, very freaking juicy. And that is just on Andy alone, right? I'm not even talking about Benny, because I also want to load up on Benny on that. But I have a price target, a number in my head, which could be different to a lot of you. It could be $20,000, $30,000, $60,000, $100,000. It could be whatever number you have in mind. I have my number in mind, and I'm planning to go ahead and sell about anywhere between 50 to 60% of my bag if it was to hit this 13x, because I will now have enough capital to inject into other projects that I'm interested in. So that would go ahead and minimize my level of risk when it comes to other projects. So like let's say for example, right now my two bags that I'm really invested in is Andy and Benny. And if I want to go ahead and add into other bags, I would go ahead and take a profit about anywhere between, as I mentioned, 50 to 60%. Then I would go ahead and flip that money, swing trade it into other base token related positions if I see any opportunities. And if not, I would just continue to hold my bag. So for Andy, my strategy has changed a bit. As I mentioned, it just depends on what your goal is for your bag. If you do have enough active income to the point where you could be purchasing new meme tokens and adding a nice little bag, then go for it. If you're in a position similar to what I was, these last couple of days ago, where I didn't have the capital to go ahead and throw it into the market because I had bills to take care of for that month, then obviously the goal is going to be different, right? You might want to consider taking 50% of your profits, swing trading them, and then using that capital to buy your favorite meme token. So for right now, what I'm going to actually be doing for Andy, since my only trading position right now is on Crody, when I make money on Crody, that's going to be like my trading money. So I might consider throwing those profits from Crody back into Andy, right? So I'm not really looking to be actively trading this market. I'm more right now considering either swing trading this market, so as it hits my price targets, now I could diversify my money and throw it into different areas to generate me more money to then throw it back into the projects I really want to buy into. As I mentioned, for example, if I might make a decent bag on Crody, I'm going to go ahead and throw probably 50% of that into base tokens because I believe in base, and I then might consider throwing them into your safer meme tokens such as Pepe, Myro. I told you that was pretty bullish and pretty pretty bullish and pretty safe. So it just depends on what your strategy is, guys. As I mentioned, everybody's strategy is going to be different. If you have more income on the side to go ahead and throw and gamble with, I guess if you want to call it, I would just say your best bet is just dollar cost averaging. Why worry about timing the market? Just freaking work your job, work your business, and then just dollar cost average, and that's it. But if you're really trying to make active income, and you don't have much money to invest in, like let's say you only have a couple grand, or like let's say you only have a few $100s, just swing trade your few $100s into a couple grand. I mean, that's what I did with base. You know, at the time, after I lost all my money on my portfolio, I started my portfolio again, and I started with $400, and in a few days later, those $400 were now worth $2,000. Now my portfolio on that one alone right there, it's now only worth about $1,500, I think, and that's just because I haven't even sold any of my tokens. That's just because of the fact that the market has been going up or down. So by the time my portfolio comes swinging again, I'm going to be up a couple grand. So it just depends on like if I want to do something, or if I'm in the mood of spending that money, I might take it out. Or if I find another opportunity, like let's say for example, there's a new narrative that's coming out and I'm very bullish, I might take 30-40% of profits from Andy and then throw it into that new token, because as I mentioned, it's easier for you to make money when you have money to throw. Like for example, I started with a $400 portfolio, portfolio. I started with $400. I swing traded that into, let's say 2,000. Let's say from that 2,000, I was able to generate over 40 grand. From that 40 grand, I could go ahead and now take about, let's say 4 grand, and if I see a new position, I could go ahead and put in either 4 grand or 2 grand. And keep in mind, all I need my position to do is a 5x, and from 2,000 I can now make $10,000. So from that $10,000, I could either go ahead and take full profits, or I could now go ahead and put it into another project. Let's say I'm going into this project because I'm feeling super bullish, and I put in 10 grand into it. All you need is a 5x. You make 50 grand. You see what I'm trying to say? Like the more money you have, the more money you have for you to risk, where it doesn't really impact your portfolio too much. You could throw in 5 grand into a project and you could make $80,000 to $100,000 if you nail it pretty good. And if it doesn't go in your favor, you still have $75,000 left in your portfolio. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So it just depends on what your strategy is and where you're at with your portfolio. Do you have 21,000 Andy or 83 Benny, Brett, or holding Pola or Brett? Yeah, I have a decent amount of Andy, bro. Not too much. I don't have enough. Like, just put it this way, bro. Like, if Andy was to do a 10 or a 20x, I would make about like anywhere between like 15 to 20 grand. So that's what I'm telling you. Like, I don't need Andy to make a freaking crazy 30x. Like, for me, 10 grand's not freaking life changing. 20 grand's not life changing. But with 20 grand, what I can now go ahead and do is I could go ahead and take $15,000, or let's say $10,000 in profits, and now I could go ahead and swing trade with $2,000. And from $2,000, as I mentioned, all I need is a 5x. Now I make $10,000. Now my overall portfolio now went from being only $20,000 to now being $30,000, and I continue to only risk $1,000 to $2,000 per trade, or maybe only $500 per trade. And you just swing trade your way in, and now you're slowly compounding your portfolio. You never want to risk everything, guys. I've been there, done that. I've done a lot of crazy stuff that I always told myself, I'm like, damn, dude, if I would have just played it safer, I would have been chilling right now. But because my level of greed of trying to freaking make $1 million overnight gets you wrecked every freaking time, guys. So just play it slow. It's just a compound game. The person that's patient is always going to win, right? For example, as I told you, if Benny also does pretty well, like let's say like a decent like 10x, I'm gonna make another probably around 10 to 15 grand out of Benny and Andy. So that's about like what, 30, maybe 20, $30,000, $40,000 just from those two trades out of $400. So $400 into $20,000 to $40,000 is not freaking bad. It's not life-changing money, guys. Could be to many of you, but it's not life-changing money. But with that 40 grand, now I could go ahead and throw it into safer projects. I could throw it into Jupiter. I could throw it into Myro, which is going to go to $1. As I said, they're not going to go ahead and hit a 20. I don't think Myro is going to hit a 20x again. Maybe I'm wrong. But let's say you made $40,000, right? And you're feeling very degenerate. You're like, you know what? Let me put $20,000 into Myro. And let's say Myro hits only a 15x. That's already $300,000 off of one position. You still have another $20,000 available. You could put another, let's say, $20,000 into Pepe. I think Pepe's going to do like a 40x. Look at that alone. $800,000. So with just two positions, just two trades, Pepe and Myro, and you might have to wait 6 months. You might have to wait 8 months. But with 40 grand, you were able to turn it into $1.2 million. You just got to work on percentages and numbers. You don't want to risk too much of your money. You don't want to put 20 grand into a meme token. Trust me, I already did that with Grok and I lost it all because I was trying to hit freaking $100,000 by the end of the month, and with that play alone, that would have been a half a million dollar trade, and I would have been set for my goal for the month. But when the trade went against me, I lost everything. So that's what I'm saying. And now looking back, if I would have just thrown those 20 grand into something safer, I would have had over $100,000 to play with right now. But see, the problem is sometimes we get too greedy. We want to hit our goals a lot quicker, a lot faster, a lot sooner, and then we end up wrecking ourselves. So the best game is just to compound it over time. Just flip your money slowly, and then you can get to that number you desire. I gotta look at Brett, bro. What the heck is Brett doing? Oh, snap, dude. See, like, for example, something like this on Brett, it looks like its bottom has finally come in. We see a lot of volume coming in, but I really want to see Brett break out of the zone right here at the 0.05. But let's say you had $100,000 right now to throw into Brett. Think about throwing 100 grand into Brett. You could be doing a 1x in the next coming days, which is not life-changing money, but you just made over 200 grand in like a day, you know? I just bought more Crody. Let's freaking go. Are they pumping Brett? Ponky would have been the play at 0.12 weeks ago. Yeah, dude, slept on it. Yeah, dude, a lot of these plays just don't FOMO into them, man. I'm telling you, there's going to be plenty of opportunities. Like there's moments where I'm like a little pissed that I didn't jump into that opportunity. But just keep in mind, like, dude, there's going to be a lot of opportunities. Whether you miss an Andy, whether you miss a Brett, whether you miss a Benny, there's always going to be new opportunities. So what I'm planning of doing is adding more into Andy and Benny. And then remember how I told you, like, if I was to go ahead and come across like 40 to 60 grand, what I would go ahead and do is, like, then I would take like a $10,000 or $20,000 position and probably throw it into these higher cap tokens. Like, for example, like a Brett, a Myro, and those are your safer alternative plays, right? Same thing with Benny. Benny, I think it's so undervalued right now. We haven't seen a lot of growth, but it's doing the same thing that Andy's doing. So, you know, we got to go ahead and see if this is the final real breakout. And if this is the real breakout, we are going to be approaching that new all-time high. So this is the reason why I'm looking to go ahead and add to my position, because on Benny alone, dude, on Benny freaking alone, look at what my price target is. It's going to be around over here, which is going to be at 0.50, which is almost going to be at $1, right? That would be over a 30x right here, bro. So, like, let's say you have $4,000 in Benny and you hit a 40x. Look how much money you just made. $160,000, which is not that bad of a trade. Benny, the only hype I have with Benny is low supply. A lot of hype due to the fact if the website is up and running. I don't think the website's up and running. I don't know why that website's been... They got to change their website, bro. Like, where the heck is their website? They got to update their DEX tools. Let's see if they have their website finally uploaded. So I'm only bullish on Benny because it's the director's dog of Coinbase, bro. That's I'm following based off the narrative of what is it called? Myro. That's what I'm really following the narrative of, and they have a lot of useful things. They have a Benny scam bot, which they just came out with recently, NFTs, and they also have their own swap and staking platform. So I don't know what's up with their website. I got to go ahead and hit them up on Telegram and say, like, what's going on with their website. But they're probably working on their website. Who knows what they're doing? But That's what I'm betting on. I'm betting that Benny's going to be hyped based on it being like the next Myro, if you were to call it. Yeah, no one knows the director of base, but I'm just going based on that hype, bro. Like I said, that's what I just think. It's such a bad team, bro. They don't hustle at all. I think it's a pretty good team. I think what I've seen so far with what they've been able to do, I think it's pretty solid. But that's just my opinion, man. Like I said, I'm looking at the charts. The charts, I don't even follow their freaking Telegram. I don't even think I'm in their Telegram group. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't check their Telegram. I don't check any of this. Like, I don't check their Twitter. I don't check their Telegram. I don't really care what any of that's going on. It is important, but I'm looking mostly at the charts. As long as I continue to see the holder count grow and I continue to see the charts telling me what it's going to do next, I'm pretty cool with it. Yeah, dude. Well, you got to keep in mind, dude, this is also with the whole entire market structure what we had. Base tokens move a lot with ETH. So that's kind of what we're seeing with all the base tokens right now. But also with what we're seeing right now is, as we mentioned, you just got to look at the charts, bro. I don't look at their Telegram. I don't look at their Twitter. I don't check any of that shit. Like, I just don't. I don't check Brett's either. I don't check AMC. I don't check any of these projects, social medias, Telegram. I'm not in their group in there in a jerk circle, freaking hyping each other up about how this is going to go to the moon, is going to change our lives. I don't do any of that. And I wouldn't recommend any of you to do that either. It's a waste of time, and you're more than likely going to lose money. If you look at what's going on in front of you and you're keeping track of the data, then you're going to be able to always come out winning at the top. With Benny, I got in at Benny back over here. So like right now, I really don't have much to lose. I'm considering of even adding more to my position right here, especially with the fact that I just calculated that this next move could be anywhere between no hype at all. It could be anywhere between a 10x all the way up to an 80x. So that's a really realistic possibility, right? So from that alone, if I could just throw in a $4,000 total into my position, $4,000 total into, let's say, just a 15x, bro, that's 60 grand. I'm gonna be chilling with 60 grand. I could do so much with 60 grand trading that would open up a lot of opportunities. So like, as long as you don't look into these Telegrams so much, I think it's important to be aware of them, but I wouldn't advise any of you to be there 24/7 at these groups. If you look at I've been looking at their holder count like a freaking hawk. I've been looking at the charts for Benny like a hawk. Worst case scenario, and this goes same thing with Andy too as well, because they're following the same exact chart pattern. Worst case scenario we see with Andy is we see it get rejected and we come back down over here to this 1 million market cap, which is going to be extremely bearish. I'm not going to lie to you. And will I still be bullish on Benny? I don't know. Maybe I might not. Maybe I might be wrong on my narrative. Maybe I end up breaking even right here at this bottom where I lose money, and that's it. I don't know. This is all speculation, guys. You got to keep this in mind. This is not a guaranteed what we're looking at, especially right now with base. I think everybody on base is betting that base is going to take off and we're going to make a lot of money. And that's kind of the reason why I'm positioning myself in this position, because I also think that a lot of people are going to jump into this. They're going to see Benny and they're going to think, oh, Coinbase's director's dog. What is Myro? Myro's is the co-founder's dog. It's just the narrative. If Myro takes off to $1, don't you think Benny's also going to do very well? Keep in mind, it has a very low supply. Keep in mind, a holder count has been growing a lot. I've been following him since 3,000 holder count, I believe. So I've been seeing growth on the data. I don't know about the chart. I don't know about Telegram. I don't even know what they do, bro. I just told you. They have a staking platform. I guess they have a bot. I guess it sounds kind of dumb that I don't know any of this because I'm bullish on it, but you sometimes don't have to know any of this. That's what I'm telling you. I feel like sometimes people overthink a lot of this, and maybe it's just due to the fact that I look at the charts. I don't care what the dev says. The dev could say that they're listing on Coinbase, but I need to see proof and value of it first before we're bullish. But yeah, it is pretty bearish right now. I'm not gonna lie. But there are so many dogs on base with good narratives like Benji, Chuck, Ski, Rocky. See, I don't even know what half those dogs you just mentioned are, bro, to be honest. I know Ski's really good. I think Ski's going to be kind of like the narrative of cat with hat or dog with hat. So I think there's going to be like the narrative of Ski Mask with dog. I think that's what I'm bullish on Ski. So I'm not saying I'm not bullish on these. I'm just saying that my bags are mostly only tied up to Andy and Benny right now. So until Andy and Benny either make me a nut on that, where I could go ahead and move my money now around, then I could go ahead and start diversifying into my positions. So, but like I said, that portfolio I started was only with $400. So I only started with $400, and now I'm going to be adding to it more this coming up month. But last month I just had to pay a lot of bills I had to take care of. So that's why this month I'm going to go ahead and focus on adding more to my positions. But if I don't see any positions going in my favor, like right now I'm seeing Ski Mask doing pretty good. Maybe I might not consider throwing more money into Andy. Maybe I might consider throwing money into Ski. So I just can't give you like a one size fits all answer, because I might be bullish on Andy and Benny right now, but I could be extremely bearish by next week. I go with where the market tells me, man. I'm not going based on like how I feel, how I woke up today. Am I feeling dogs today, or am I feeling cats? I'm going based on like what the market's telling me. And if the market's telling me, in my opinion, that this is where the hype is, I do agree with you. Benny's kind of underperforming. I'm not gonna go ahead and sit here and lie to you. But if we go back, Ski Mask is in the same level that Benny's at right now. I mean, look at where Ski Mask is. It's at a very strong area of resistance. Same thing is with Ski Mask, that if it gets rejected, guess what's going to happen? It's going to dump. Same thing with Benny. Look at this right here. This is why I'm telling you. You look at the charts, it tells you all the data. Same thing with Benny. Look at this. If Benny doesn't break out of this resistance, we're going to dump. Same thing with Andy. If Andy doesn't break out of this resistance, which we have been hovering here for a while, guess what's going to happen? Very simple. We're going to dump. So all of these are honestly looking very, very bearish. I mean, Ski Mask is looking very bearish as well, if it doesn't break that area of resistance. Look at that. It's the same thing. Benny, same thing with Benny. Same thing with Crody too. Look at that. Crody. We have the same thing with Crody. If Crody can't break out of this resistance, guess what's going to happen? It's going to be doomed. It's going to go down over here. So if you see the same thing, same thing is going on with 3 different charts that I just compared and I showed you that are doing very similar patterns. There's no coincidence to this. It's just how the market moves. I don't know what this chart is doing. Maybe it's doing the opposite. Let's see. Same thing right here. Same thing with Brett 2.0. It doesn't break out over here. If it gets rejected, it's dumping over here. All these charts that are at some very critical areas, guys. It's not just Andy. It's not just Benny. It's Crody. It's Pelote, is Brody. It's everybody. Everybody's in the same position right now, that if the tokens don't pump, if the market doesn't pump it, we're going to see a 50 to 80% crash on a lot of these meme tokens. So we're at a very critical area. Same thing goes with Crody. If I'm wrong on my narrative, there goes our position onto thinking that we're going to do a 6 to 8x. Too lazy to write down the narratives right now. But I would never get into Chuck or Rocky. I don't know what those are, to be honest. The charts are super trash. Yes, the charts are super trash. Any idea what Coinbase's smart wallet will launch and pump our bags on base? Whenever Brit pumps doubles. So sick. Yes, dude. I've been telling you about Brits. I'm glad you mentioned Brits. Thank you for that. So we actually were talking about Brit a while back. How we were saying that every time Brett pumps, we see double on that on Brit. So thank you for reminding me, bro. Actually, when I get my paycheck, I'm gonna throw some money in Brits because this is where the money's gonna go. But same thing with Brit, bro. Look at Brits. Same thing. You can't make this shit up, bro. Like, we could sit here and debate which narrative is better than what, but at the end of the day, I just showed you 5 different charts that are the same thing. Gets rejected right here. It's done. It sucks. I wish this is not the case. I really hope this is not the case. I hope there's not a dump, because we're going to see an 80% dump. And a lot of these communities are going to be officially dead if this was to go ahead and happen. And with Brett, what we really got to see in order to be fully bullish, in my opinion, we need to see Brett break out of this. If Brett doesn't break out of that, guess what's going to happen? It gets rejected. Same thing's going to happen to Brett's. Let me get rid of this. Same thing's going to happen to Brett's. It's going to dump 82%. So we're at very critical areas. This is not just a Crody thing. This is not just a Brett thing. This is not just an Andy thing. This is not a Benny thing. This is a we're all kind of fucked thing if the market decides to dump. If the market, for whatever reason, dumps, we're at a very critical area where if this dumps, we're done, guys. 80% retracement. But let me tell you, I haven't told you this. This is where I'm very, very excited. And this is why I'm kind of betting that it might go up. But fingers crossed it goes up, bro. Fingers crossed, because we're going to get wrecked. But check this out. And I'm going to show it on Andy because I know what Andy and Benny are going to bring us. Let's say the market doesn't dump, right? Let's say this is not the freaking top and we don't get rejected and we break through. Guess what the next price target for Andy is going to be? Right here. That's going to put us at over 80 million plus market cap. That's a 13x. With Benny alone, let's go ahead and take a look at what Benny will bring us. And this is with a lot of these other tokens, right? This is not just these 2 tokens. I'm just showing you because I know a lot about these charts on these 2 that I could tell you where our price targets will be next. This would take us to at least a 20 to a 30x in my opinion. Maybe let's just say half, 20x on Benny from where we're at right now. $2,000, I think that's like what, 40 grand at a 20x? Go ahead and check. 40 grand, yeah. Same thing with let's go ahead and say what is it, Brit or Brett? What was that token? Brit. If Brit does pump from here, what do you think Brit's gonna go? It's gonna go probably over here. That's a 20x right there. Do you see where this is going? Why I'm telling you, like, dude, it doesn't matter what token you're in right now. It just matters that you're exposed to meme tokens, because there's a high probability that if we don't get rejected, we're going to be having some nice little swings in the next coming weeks. I'm not telling you overnight. I'm not telling you tomorrow. I'm telling you in the next coming weeks. Ski Mask and next price target, in my opinion, is going to be a 20x. You know where that's going to take us to? 9 times 20, that's going to go ahead and bring us to an over 180 million market cap, which I believe Ski Mask has the capability of doing. Where did you learn to read charts like that? I've been reading charts for a while, bro. I've been reading charts since I was trading the stock market. So I was trading the stock market since 2017. So that's how I learned how to read charts, and just trial and error, bro. You just the only way you can read charts is only if you've been trading the market for a few years. So I've been trading crypto for about, like, actively, like, leverage trading crypto for about a year, and I've been in the crypto market since 2017. Not knowing what I was doing most of the time, like just following influencers getting wrecked. And I've been trading the stock market since 2017. But when it comes to a lot of these markets, it's more than just more than charts. It's also emotional intelligence. So you have to know how or why the market will react a certain way. So that's the only reason why I'm able to predict a lot of these tops and bottoms for Bitcoin, because I understand how retail reacts. I understand how people react. I know how people think. I know how crazy that sounds, but I'm already ahead of the herd, man. I'm already thinking 10 steps ahead of you. You know what I mean? What most people are thinking, I'm already 10 steps ahead, you know? I got into back in the stock market. I got into GameStop and GME before anybody knew what a freaking short squeeze was. You know what I mean? Like, I got in because I understood the fundamental data behind it. So I understand data very well, and I understand how, I would say, humans react pretty well. So that's where my probabilities of my outcomes usually pay off pretty well when I'm right, because I put all those I guess all those analysis together. I don't just put technical analysis, bro. I put fundamental analysis, technical analysis, emotional analysis, which is also a thing, right? You need to go ahead and know the sentiment of the market. How is the sentiment of the market feeling? Well, you start looking at things like this, the fear and greed chart. How is the market reacting? This is an emotional statement of how the market is doing. I predicted Bitcoin doing exactly this, not out of luck, not out of just technical analysis. I did it out of fundamental data that I have. Fundamental data being the DXY, the US 100, what the Fed was going to do, how the Fed was going to react, and then I added it with more fundamental data with where liquidations were going to happen. There's no luck out of predicting that Bitcoin was going to do this, because I predicted this over here, and I also predicted this move over here with Bitcoin back in October, and this is where I loaded up on meme tokens. I loaded up on meme tokens right here. There's no coincidence to any of this. There hasn't been one time yet that I've not called the market correctly. I'm yet to be wrong, and I'm okay being wrong. I don't mind being wrong. That's the thing. I don't care if I'm wrong. But what I'm telling you is the reason why I've been able to predict these markets pretty well is because they're predictable. They say the truth is hidden in plain sight, bro. All this information is available for you and I. The only difference is it just depends on how someone analyzes and dissects the market, right? I use more than one indicator to tell you why the market's going to do something. Most people just tell you it's going to pump because they say so. I'm not telling you any of the tokens that I'm jumping into, they're going to pump. I just showed you 5 different charts with the same exact freaking pattern. It doesn't matter what token we choose. At the end of the day, if the market reacts a certain way, we all lose 80 to 90% of our portfolios. There might be 1 or 2 winners that do very well, and if the market reacts very well, we all win and we all make money, right? So it's a very predictable thing in the market, and there's no coincidence Bitcoin is doing the same thing as Solana is doing. It's the same thing. Look at this. It's the same thing, chart back to back. I don't understand how people can't see this. This is not like rocket scientist kind of information. Like, this is just common sense. This is just common sense information, in my opinion. I don't think I'm any like kind of wizard to analyze this market at a different level and dissect it than many. You know what I mean? So like it's very, very predictable. It's very predictable data. And keep in mind, candlesticks just tell you how the market's reacting. That's really all it is. It's just sentiment, emotional data of what the market's doing, how the market's feeling for the day. If some good news happen, you might see a green stick come up. If bad news happens, you might see the market react, and then you might see an overreaction. And you have to be able to identify the overreaction patterns to the real patterns. But that just comes in with time in the market. You can't time those if you don't know how to trade the market. If you haven't been exposed to actually trading the market, you won't be able to call most of these tops and bottoms, because you have to have experience in the market. Because volatility comes in mind. You have a lot of fake outs about like over 90% of the time. So you have to understand that, and you only learn that through experience, in my opinion. That's the only way you learn it. You know how they say time in the market beats timing the market? The same shit. The more time you spend looking at charts, the more time you spend losing money, the more time you spend making money, the more time you spend analyzing and dissecting data and information, the higher the probability and the outcome you have to predict that in the next outcome. Nah, dude, I'm in California, dude. I never saw the fear and greed chart. How can it be so many humans around the world act the same as the same freaking time? So keep this in mind, bro. So the reason why is because of the reason that humans are very predictable. So humans are very, very predictable. So these are just human behavioral patterns alongside with like AI and stuff like that, where like for example, like a lot of these credit loans and applications, when you're applying for a credit card or even for like a car loan or any of that, what they use is they use AI to go ahead and analyze a lot of these loans for you, right? So they don't actually have someone viewing every freaking application to go ahead and approve you. They have AI that's approving a lot of these. So the way it works is that they have this database of information that how people usually react, right? So they have us pretty well. They know us pretty well, bro. It's all based on data. Data is the way that's why I tell people the real Bitcoin is our data, because we don't even own our data. The government knows more about you and I than we know about ourselves. like they track the times we go to the bathroom, the times we pick up our phones, the times we go to sleep, how long we take looking at something, what we usually look at, and then that's when you have marketers come over here and then market to you when it comes to YouTube, certain ads and all of this, right? It's all due to the fact that data. We're very predictable. Humans are very predictable patterns that we have as humans. I think that's, I don't want to say that we're probably the only species that's super, super predictable, but I would say we're definitely one of those species, in my opinion, that we're not quick to adapt to. Most people are not quick to adapt. And I think that's why, as humans, we tend to lose, because we grow that sentiment into things, right? We grow sentiment into people. We grow sentiment into objects. We grow sentiment into items, places, and that's why humans are very predictable, bro. like they're so predictable. It's freaking crazy. I'm 24, bro. It may, dude, I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating all this data, bro. Maybe I'm underestimating all of this, what I'm saying. So just take this with a grain of salt, right? Like when I talk to people about like crypto, blockchain and all this shit, like to me, it's very, very like, it's very easy because I understand and I know this space and I dissect it every day and I learn it every day. And I'm on this like literally 24/7. So like to me, it's very normal and it seems easy. So it might not be easy. I don't freaking know. In my brain, this is all easy. This is all easy. Like it just makes sense to me. Did it make sense in the beginning? No, 100%. The only reason why it started to make sense was because I spent hours in the charts, looking at them, studying movements, analyzing the market, and just spending time in the market. And the more time you spend and the more you learn, the more you're able to go and have a higher probability of that outcome happening. This is just all numbers and probabilities, bro. Like there's no one in the world that could predict a top or a bottom of the market. We could go ahead and use tools for our ability, but all a freaking technical analyst does is just have a better probability than most people that an outcome is going to happen. This is all based on like freaking stats, literally just stats and numbers. And there's people that dissect this data a lot more than me. They do these crazy chart patterns that I'm not good at. I just know the basics. I think my strong point is more the fundamental side of things. I understand how the fundamental market of the stock market moves because I first started trading the stock market. And I feel like that's kind of like my strongest point, where I understand fundamental data of the market, how, the economy works. And I feel like that's where I'm able to predict more of my data. But as I mentioned, this is just because I've been spending a lot of time on charts. Like just put it this way, bro. Like I don't play video games. I look at the freaking market. I don't go out and party with friends. I fucking stay home and I look at the fucking charts. So just keep this in mind. Like I don't do any of that shit. Like the only shit I do the most is freaking go to the gym and lift weights, and I'm back at the charts. I'm at the gym. I'm freaking on the treadmill or whatever the case is. It's Stairmaster. I'm looking at freaking charts, bro. I'm looking at what's going on with the economy. I'm looking at freaking what the Federal Reserve had to fucking say today. You know what I mean? Like that's what I spend my time in. You know, on my hobby, what my hobby is freaking looking at the charts, launching tokens, you know, launching meme tokens, looking at freaking charts, leverage trading. That's like my free time. You know what I mean? So like everything that I do revolves around crypto and trading. So my job also is in crypto. So like everything I do, my whole life is in crypto. So everything that I do is crypto related. So that's the other reason why I understand this market more, because my life literally revolves around crypto. That's all I do. My job's in crypto. My personal hobbies are in crypto. Everything I do on my free time is crypto. Everything I watch on my free time is financial related or crypto related. So like everything is crypto, bro. So that's I guess that's the only reason why. Nice, Chicago. I'll definitely go ahead and check it out. But that's in the States with data and everything, but the rest of the world, it's the same thing, bro. So it's just like, as I told you, these candlesticks are just showing the emotions of what how people are reacting. People react very similar. As I mentioned, it just goes back onto how people react. Most people, this is the reason why I've been able to tell you what's going to happen with a lot of these charts. Most people get super excited at moments right here in the market and they start buying. This is the reality of the world. And then most people start selling their bags right here. And then most people start selling right here. And then this thing's going to go up again, maybe. And most people are going to be buying again. It's very predictable, dude. These patterns are very predictable what happens. And it's going to be the same rinse and repeat cycle. It's a pump and dump. Because people act the same. Every time the market pumps, people want to buy on green. People don't like buying on red. And then every time the market dumps, people sell. It's just how humans are. I love numbers. I play with poker for a living. Got into crypto just 2-3 months ago, and it's so fascinating. Really, so many factors play into the system. Yeah, dude. If you play poker, it's the same shit. This is like the same thing. You're playing player against player. Like you're just predicting your move ahead of what that person's move is going to be. Like you're going to like there's a lot of times in the market where these might be a fake outs. Like these are, sometimes people might be looking at like certain patterns. They're like, oh, I found a cup and handle pattern. I saw this pattern, right? But the thing is that a lot of these patterns are also fake outs. So the market makers, the institutional buyers, whatever you want to call them, sellers, banks, hedge funds, know that there's a lot of freaking people like myself. They're like, oh guys, look, there's a freaking cup and handle pattern. We should probably consider buying right here. And most people are not going to wait for confirmation. This is the reason why I always say wait for a confirmation breakout before you enter a position, or a breakdown to consider selling your position. You know what I mean? For like AMC, I'll show you right now with AMC. Fuck AMC. I'll just show you right here. So then you have fake out patterns. So you also have where the market makes you think that it's going to go in this direction and it goes the opposite way. Maybe that's what Crody's doing. You know what I mean? It could also be one of those where Crody's giving us signs that it might go up, fake out, might go up, and in reality, it actually dumps. That's very common. This happens every time in the space. It happens 9 times out of 10. And this is the reason why I always say you got to wait for a confirmation, because most of these fake outs happen all the time. And this could be a fake out. And that's what we have to be aware of. Like what we're seeing right now in the market, even for Bitcoin, this could be a fake out. Maybe what I think is going to happen to shoot us to $85,000, maybe that's not going to happen. Maybe Bitcoin dumps. to $42,000, and that is also always the case, right? So we really don't know exactly where the market's going, because the market also plays these games on us, right? But when you have these probabilities in mind, as I mentioned, with the DXY, with the US 100, you can go ahead and stack your odds in your favor as opposed to against you. So because I'm seeing all these odds stacked in our favor instead of against us, I'm leaning more towards the bullish side. Now, if there is a little bit more neutral, I'd probably consider, okay, I don't know where things are going to go, but the DXY confirmed where we wanted to see the DXY to go. This confirmed. I told a lot of you guys, wait for confirmation for the DXY to drop down to the zone right here. And if it does, this is going to be extremely bullish for us, and we might consider loading up some positions. Well, guess what? That happened. So that's why now that other confirmation now makes it 2. So now I believe that because I have confirmation number 2 happen, now my outcome is more than likely going to happen. Same thing with the US 100. This is my 3rd confirmation. So now I have 3 confirmations in my favor, alongside looking at Solana, alongside looking at what the fear and greed chart's doing. And I forgot to mention this is my 4th or 5th last indicator, is a liquidation heat map. I showed you where a lot of shorts were going to get liquidated. So I have over 3 to 4 indicators that are already triggered that is giving me signs of bullishness. So I'm going more towards the bullish narrative, right? So that's where you just have to stack your probabilities and your odds in your favor or against you, and then ask yourself, should I consider taking this position? And if the position goes against me, how much money am I losing, and how much risk am I adding to my position, or whatever the case is, right? So it's just really probabilities, bro. It's not really like you're gonna hear different traders say different opinions and different points of views, and there's people that read the charts differently than I do. Everybody just has their own little edge of how it's just like when you go to the gym, right? There's some people that freaking do curls different than other people. There's people that swing with their whole body, and there's people that actually know how to do curls. At the end of the day, they're still probably doing they're doing the same thing, but the guy doing it correctly might get more of a better outcome than the guy doing it incorrectly. But then again, maybe the guy that's doing it incorrectly is freaking abusing steroids, and it's probably eating very well, and he might have better results than the guy that's not doing steroids, training correctly, but not eating properly. So there's just different things, and then you have genetics stacked against you, right? So it's the same thing in the market, bro. There's a lot of different factors that control the market. Yeah, bro. I mean, look at it this way, man. It's literally just gambling. This is why people get excited. This is why people love trading. It's literally gambling. I literally had that mentality not that long ago when it came to trading. I now finally demonetize myself. What is it called? I know it's somewhere around those words. I finally now detached myself from that gambler's mentality when it came to the meme tokens, because the meme tokens move so quick, bro. They're not predictable. The meme tokens are 100% freaking gambles, especially Solana meme tokens. Gambles, bro. You're just betting on whether it's going to be green, or black or red. It's really what it is. You're not betting on anything else. No technical analysis is going to help you. If an influencer dumps on you, or the team dumps on you, you can't tell that by the chart. You can, but you can't exactly. You know what I mean? So like meme tokens and Solana, they're gambles, bro. That's why I don't really like Solana tokens anymore, because I learned that. Gym is super important. Yeah, man. Good diet, meditating, gym, God, and everything takes care of itself if you work hard. I agree with you. Damn, Key Cat looks juicy right now. 27 mil. I'm close to aping it. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Exactly. That's what this meme coins are exciting. Other altcoins don't have this volatility. It's more fun. Yeah, man. Sometimes you're better off just dollar cost averaging. You're just better off dollar cost averaging. Like if you want to wait for, and this is another thing, if you're bullish on a project and you really are waiting for an entry, take a look at your entry. How much difference is your entry? Is it a 30% move? Is it a 40% move? Is it a 15% move? Will you have the time to time the market if you enter that position? Because keep in mind, it could be a 40% retracement and it might happen in 2 seconds and then it moons to 200%. So you were better off throwing in a couple $100, waiting for it to go ahead and hit your key area and then entering into your position, right? So that's another thing you also have to consider. Like right now for keyboard cat, we are seeing this zone of consolidation. So I don't think there's much that you missed out yet, but you know, if we do have this breakout right here for KeyCat, we are definitely going to go ahead and see this moon, and we're going to go ahead and see this breakout all the way up to over an 18x. So as you notice, a lot of these positions that we talked about on the low end, we're looking at a 10 to an 18x minimal. So keep that in mind. So this is where I think KeyCat's going to be, and that would take us to over, if I'm not mistaken, over a 200 million market cap. It's already quite high. I'm not going to lie to you. It's already quite of a high of a market cap. But even right here is the same thing. Like if we see this breakout, we're probably going to see a 6 to a 10x after this breakout. And now if we get rejected at the zone right here, guess what's going to happen? We might retest it, dump, and we're done. We're going to go ahead and see that same thing over a 70-80% retracement. It's the same thing that leads us to all these other tokens. And I'm telling you, I only know this because I just analyze all these charts a lot, bro. But that's pretty much it in the market. I mean, I'm very bullish. We're gonna go ahead and see how this week ends. More than likely, I will go ahead and stream tomorrow. I mean, I'm gonna probably stream by the end of this week, this whole entire week, because I do feel like it's gonna be a bullish week. But yeah, I'll go ahead and catch all of you tomorrow. Let's go ahead and see how this play works out. I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. And most importantly, go ahead and support the channel by using my links down below. Blofin down below in the description. $5,000 in sign-up bonuses. No KYC. Takes less than 3 seconds to create an account. And I really do appreciate every one of you. I appreciate you, Jen, Chicago, Happy, Steve, Classic, Mart, and who else? Callie and Happy. I appreciate every one of you guys, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So fingers crossed, not only will our Crody position do well on us, but also all the meme tokens. We're both in the meme tokens, guys. So if the market goes the opposite way, we're going to be down 80% of our position. So it doesn't matter what token you're in. If you're in a Crody, if you're in Brett, and you're in Brett's cousin, and you're in Pepe, or you're in Andy, it doesn't matter. The market's going to go all in the same direction if the market shifts, all right? So keep that in mind. So fingers crossed. Let's wish everybody luck that the market goes in our favor that way, so we can start taking advantage of those 10 to 20 X's. We literally have a whole lot of 10 to 20 X's lined up, guys. Literally, this whole entire freaking chart almost has 10 X's lined up for us. And I'm sure there's a lot of other tokens lined up for us as well. I'll check Discord right now. All right, for sure, man. I appreciate all of you guys. I'll